To our beautiful and amazing royals of Africa. Mbolweni my people, this is your queen, Queen Ngningone II, 17th generation crown queen of the Fang people and of the African diasporans, also known as the immortals. My people, so tonight your queen is very tired, but nevertheless, I was pulled to come and warm the heart of our beautiful and amazing royals out there with a very special message for our children. So before we start, thank you to all of you, those of you watching and sharing the videos. Thank you. Thank you for sharing the message. I see some of our sons out there awakening. I see our royal showing up in style. We have our Mokozi Ronald. Good evening. We have our Queen Manzambi and our King Manzambi. We have a power couple in the house. And we have our royal Anitria. Mbote, my dears. We have a very special message for our dear children. Okay, so as you know, your queen, my messages is to help our people heal. Wonderful to see you too, my dear Royal. I see you. I see you. So we have a very important message because in this time of healing, we have to know specifically what we are healing from. I see another royal that just pulled in style. The Wayne Reese. Peace and blessing to you too, my dear child. Peace and blessing to you all. So in the season of our awakening, it is important that we start focusing on what we are healing. And that is the reason of today's message, because we are God's children. We already know it. We have proven it. We are the lineage of Yakuba, his descendants. So we are his people. Now, in order for us to go back to our creator, Tatanzambe, we have to heal ourselves. We have to heal our souls from the scars of our past. First, I would like our children out there to know that no matter what, I'm very proud of you all. I'm very proud because we are a group of strong people. We are more than survivors. We come from rulers, conquerors, intelligent peoples, geniuses who have created a lot. And their contribution, the world is still benefiting from the inventions of our forefathers. So no matter what we went through, we shouldn't take ourselves lightly due to our divine nature. Slavery and colonization wounded the souls of many of us, but just keep in mind that nothing is impossible to our God, Tatanzambe. Nothing is impossible to him. And this time, especially, he's putting things in place to allow us to heal, for us who truly want to heal. There's no society we are going to be able to build which could be solid and stand generations after generations if we are in the mental stage many of us are still in. We have to heal first so we can build a strong nation. Those of you who are already awakened and had already one way or another been called to a mission of some kind of outreach to our people, I'm so proud of you. I see more and more of our sons out there, you know, awakening and becoming more responsible with their platforms. As I said, when I came to the scene, I immediately noticed the couple Manzambi Zola out there pouring their love for our people. We also have our sons over in Zola Bantu. I really encourage you guys to stop by their channel. I know they are, you know, being banned and, you know, censored. I mean, crazy. We have people contacting me, telling me they never get notifications anymore. I'm like, that's what we're dealing with. But nevertheless, the truth is still coming out. So in healing, we have to know what we are healing from. Today, we are going to cover the role of the Bantu woman in the Bantu society. The pivotal role, because you have to understand why they came for her first. Before they could touch any of our fathers, they came for her first because she holds the power when it comes to our people. Let me give you an example of The people our ancestors had colonized, our ancestors, the Moors and all these Africans that went through Europe and taught them how to take a bath and taught them how to organize and so on. It's only after the encounter with our ancestors that they were taught the value of a woman. Our ancestors are the one who told them that she is not to be dragged around by the hair and beat up and passed around. That's why your people are suffering, because you mistreat her. Our ancestors taught them that where we come from, when she gets married, her family receive a price, a big cash price of money as a dowry, as a token of appreciation, because for our people, she represents the throne. Our people say the existence, the eternity of a group of people is between the Bantu woman's leg. Our people tell us that because our people know her value. She's the foundation upon which the man builds his house. She's the foundation, and our elders also tells us that she's the pillars that maintain the structure intact years after years, generations after generations, because she perpetuates the race, she perpetuates the tribe, she perpetuates the clan. What does it mean? She makes it eternal. So I know that some of you may have come across teachings out there. Some of our daughters are beaten to the core to accept the position the enemy has thrown us. Because it's only when our forefathers, number one, some of them fell for the nonsense that they could be friends and started inquiring about their spirituality. Number two, when they believed the lie, the European told them that the woman is worth nothing. She belongs to the kitchen and be quiet. These two brought the destruction, the end of our world. These two were big no-no. Because our elders tells us that she's the founders of her society. Without her, if all the men were to become gay, I'm sorry, if there's no stupid women out there willing to loan their womb to produce babies for them, give them 50 years, 70 years, that community will be extinct. Truth is, she keeps us around. We covered previously that she's the liaison bridge, which Tatanzambe used to send the spirit souls in this realm, and they go through her. She gives them form, and a baby is born. She can never be beneath the man. Any teaching out there that you're gonna find telling you that she's beneath the man is perpetrating the doctrine, the dogma of the enemy. Because our people say, without her, our people tell, they tell our children that if you ever found yourself in a situation where you have to choose between saving the life of your child or save the life of your woman, always choose your woman. That's the training our fathers give to our brothers. They say you can bury a child, but she will give you another child. She's like your manager. Without her, you are like without a compass. So all these values were taken away from us during slavery. Our sons and daughters were trained to attack her, to rape her, to make the worst of her. I get it. I'm not saying that we don't have any amazing mothers out there. I've lived in this country for long enough, and I've met some amazing mamas here. One of them is my dentist, Dr. Brandy, an amazing woman. She gave me the warmest hugs when I needed them the most, they're still able to connect to that pure source of love. I know that not all of us got lost in slavery, but those mothers who are like that are in such minority. And our elders tells us that she's so fundamental, to the society, that the level of consciousness of a community or a group of people depends on the level of consciousness of their women. Why? Because she's the child teacher. Our elders tells us that mothers are teachers and fathers are instructors. The mom will break down the instruction the father gives. The father is there to bark orders, to reinforce, to discipline, to protect, provide. But the teacher is the woman. So what does it mean? 90% of what a child knows, 90% of what a child becomes is a reproduction of his mother. That's why for the Bantu people, they never fight with a woman when it comes to her children. Our people know if you want a beautiful children, you could be the ugliest man, but you go and carry one of these beautiful daughters of ours, she will change your entire race, because she gives to her child what she has. If she has love, she's gonna feed that child from the womb with love. If she's full of hatred, she's gonna fill that child with hatred. She has an advance of 9 months when it comes to interacting with the child. The father doesn't get to meet that pretty baby until the baby is around, but the mom, from conception, her and her child start communicating without even speaking. That's why our elders tell us never fight with a woman over her children. It's a waste of time. Okay? So, her being the teacher of the child, the Bible even tells us, there's a Bible verse that says that if you don't, discipline your children when they grow up, they're going to make the shame of who? I don't remember that verse saying, I think it's Proverb 25 something, not 25, no, 29:15. It's going to make the shame of the mother. The shame will go to the mother, not to the father, because they know the mother is the teacher. The mother is the one teaching the child the values, the morals of that group of people, the tradition, the do's, the don'ts. The father just reinforced that the child learn everything the mother is teaching him. That's why sometimes you can tell a child, baby, go and do that. He or she will drag his feet. But the minute the father just shows the face like, what? You will see that child run and go and do it, because they know the executioner is here and that's their role. So the one who teaches is the mother. So when we have a level of consciousness of a group of people which is very low, that entire group of people, that entire society, that entire community is bound to suffer. Because the men teachers have failed to teach. Just keep in mind that everybody's husband is somebody's child. The patriarchal world tried to throw it in the trash, and they took over the world and they made a mess out of it. This is the chaos we are in. I see you, our dear Royal John Halvarson. Welcome. Welcome to our royal palace. So, and they took over, and now look, the entire world is in shambles right now. They have wounded Mother Nature to the point she's slapping them left and right. they're losing complete control because they try to eliminate the divine feminine. So you see, so let's go back to the Muzungu. It's just like, before I even bring it to us, all the thing we complain about the Muzungus and the Mundele, guess who taught them that? A Muzunga, a white woman. Yes, because we're the one who tell the child, you need to act in a way which is honorable to us. Dare you bring shame to our name? We the mom who make okay. I mean, we bring them around. A man cannot be more important than the woman in the society. Look at what it led to us entertaining that belief. The sooner the Bantu woman is healed and restored, the sooner the Bantu man will be, healed and restored. Why? Because the way we are made of. The Bantu man has covenanted to Tatan Zambe to protect, provide, and instruct, be that shield for his family. And the Bantu woman has covenanted to Tatan Zambe to teach and grow his nation. That's why we don't believe in abortion, because it's one of the mission. And in Africa, you could have all the money in the world, but if you are a barren woman, you better not get into an argument with anybody. They're going to throw it to your face. They're going to tell you, we argue with real women. We don't argue with men wearing a dress. These are the kind of, job you're going to get, because to our people, the primary function Tatan Zambe put us on earth is to multiply his souls. So you see, a collaboration is needed between the Bantu man and the Bantu woman, because spiritually she holds his abundance. When you get married, this is when Tatan Zambe and the ancestor release your spiritual inheritance. You would see some couples, when they just got married, they were struggling. Give them 5 years, give them 7 years. They're going to have a whole complete, life change. Because now they are in a covenant, they are being blessed, their blessings are being released onto them. And another thing, as long as the Bantu man fulfills his end of the bargain, he will be divinely protected. That's why you would see some of you who have children with Africans. No matter the tension between you, but he will feed that kid, because he knows that kid cannot go without. His blessings and protections are attached to that kid. No matter where he goes and run, he will send that money, because he knows what it means to take care of them. As he does, his blessings and protection are released unto him. So you see, so never believe the people that go around, teaching these very damaging teaching. The Bantu man can never rise if the Bantu woman is still wounded and on the ground. We have to heal her first, because she's the one who keeps us around. She's the one, because our people say, if you have taught a man, you have taught a man. But if you have taught a woman, you have taught a nation. Because whatever you taught her, she's going to teach her children. And her children going to teach her grandchildren, and so on and so on. So she needs to be restored. Our fathers growing up, they never called us by our first name unless you're in trouble. They always called us mama. Always. You could be a little tiny baby, they say mama, because for the Bantu people, the woman is the queen. When her heart is warm, Tatan Zambe opened the heavens. You go testimony through testimony of wonders. Tatan Zambe need her to keep his race around. And some of our sons are embarking to that thing. They would push their sorry wife to go and say nonsense to other women that they're not, they're not worth nothing. These are dangerous teachings. Maybe them, but if you're Bakongo, if you come from the Congo land, you have to know your rightful place, my daughters. There's something you need to know about us, the Bakongo women. We're very abundant. Our abundance get activated if the man we are with, who is with us, is treating us well. If he start mistreating us, they dry up his finances. So you have to understand that we are targeted because we are so abundant. But the flip side of that blessing is if we allow a man to basically feed off of us, to be that leech, they're going to cause him to resent us. They will cause him to become our number one competitor, our number one rival. They will just start resenting us because we are not living in obedience. We are queens, and we should never let a man enslave us, not even in the name of love. So we need to stop compromising our own self. Men are not my problem, because every broken man was broken by a woman. If it's not the mother herself, because herself she's not well in her head. I see some mothers is like, because they didn't have it good in life, so they encourage their sons to abuse other people's daughters, not knowing that they will answer for that before Tata Zambe. Because Tata Zambe said that if you wound a generation, because by you being a bad mother-in-law just persecuting her, it's going to make her not to be a good mother. You already have damaged a generation. And these are things that Tata Zambe doesn't forget when you mess with his children like that, just out of wickedness. So I used to hear our mothers always say, to our brothers, when they catch our brothers disrespecting girls or trying to talk funny to their sisters, they be like, I swear, if you go and put somebody's daughter through it, I will hunt you from the dead. They will threaten them. Our mothers used to take it very seriously. They want their daughter-in-law to bless them from beyond their grave, because they know what it means. It's big credit for them in front of Tata Zambe. But now that they have scattered our families, our own mothers are the one breaking their sons, not allowing them, not encouraging them to do the right thing. Some of them want their son to stay single, but just screw women around. So it brings back to a woman. And if the child got damaged, because we also battle a big problem of incest. If the child didn't get damaged by one of the parents themselves, is somebody the mother or the father have allowed around them. And then that child many times is misunderstood. That child is not believed. We need to stop normalizing abuse. We women, we allow too much nonsense in the name of comfort. In healing, we have to restore our value. We can no longer allow people to come in our life and do the worst and treat us the worst and call us the worst name, and we stick around, we're sending the wrong message. We should be the one giving them warning. If you have a history of being a savage, because that's our job. Remember, we are their teachers. Wherever their mother left off, we must pick up. So even if it's your husband or fiance, look at him as a fellow woman child. Look at him as a project that's going to continue. But you have to claim your throne when it comes to dealing with them. The male kind, our ancestors tell us that they don't even have the power to confront Satan. They're completely powerless. In the Garden of Eden, who did Stephen, like we call him, the guy with the horn, who did he go to? He went to her because he knew she was the decision maker, because he knew that if she was convinced, it was matter of time Adam will get to do the same. So he went to who matters. You have to understand, recognize her spiritual role within our community so we can better value her. Our elders also tell us that only her has the power to crush the head of the dragon of God. Who do we know as the dragon? Satan. Only her got the power to crush him. So you see, when we slam her to the ground, we're leaving ourselves for defeated. We are reducing our chances to see anything good happening to us because she's the one holding that light. Remember, she's the connection between Tata Nzambe and us. Tata Nzambe talk to us through her. When we share intimacy with her, we go in the presence of Tata Nzambe. Our ancestors, our elders tell us. So don't believe any of these dangerous teachings out there. And know that if you are Bakongo, you will not even be attracted by this kind of teaching because they don't sit well with your blood. The way you made up your biological composition will not allow you to sit on a platform listening to that rubbish. We the one who said what goes and what doesn't. But the thing is that we've been divided. We've been so jealous of one another. Especially in America. In America, I'm sorry, but our sisters in America are toxic. They have become the white woman. They're so fake and big users. In 20-something years I live here, I only met one, my friend Cricket, the heart of an angel. My poor friend, the demons that have been battling her all her life, and a bunch of them were her own family members. They got my friend, they made her an alcoholic. But she's the girl I have known with a golden heart. I'm not throwing jabs at anybody, but our daughters in America need to do better. The scheming, the plotting, the using, they will pimp a fellow friend, a girl, like they would pimp a guy. Or you, the African friend, they will call you only when they need fabric. Or they need something you can provide, and then they put you up on a shelf. We have lost the real sisterhood among us. We have lost the real love among us. We used to love in a sacrificial way. Now today, what do? Is backstab. The little awakening we're receiving, many of them are using it to cast spells. To cast spells against one another. But our people don't stand a chance if we don't get it together. Don't mind these idiots who think they have the power. The power resides within our legs, between our legs, our yonis. That's what keeps them around. Now you understand, when they slam you to the ground, don't expect the same people who slam you to the ground to help you up. My ladies, we have to get up from that dust and dust off ourselves and claim our crowns. We have the authority to discipline them. Why do men cheat? Men cheat because some women make it okay. They go and pull him out of his wife's house and go and hide him in their house as if it's something normal. And they come out and brag about it, and their fans are congratulating them. Like when that girl in the Real Housewife of Atlanta, she goes to her friend's house, and before you know it, her and the friend husband are getting engaged. This kind of nonsense. And then the fans, they were like, oh my God, congratulations. I'm like, you see, that post got about 5,000 likes. So what does it mean? 5,000 of our women feel that it's okay. You can sneak next to your sister, pretend you her friend, and go to her house and eye her husband. These are the behavior that are being rewarded amongst our daughters today. We have completely lost it. What house can you build on the rumbles of your sister's house? It never ends well. We lost the sense of boundaries. We set boundaries. With everybody, we are the teacher. When we get tired of the thugs will stop existing. If every woman said it, like tell her daughter, you are precious. But today, what do we see? Mothers who get in bed with with their daughter's man, which is in our absolute abomination per our standards. This is like bringing generational curses. But I know many of you are awakening, and many of you are the generational curses breaker of your lineage. Many of you are called to break that generational curse that's been crippling the family. The daughters are not going to marriage. It's a problem. Now you start looking around the family, hold people accountable. How come each time so and so get married, you go and put your mouth in their marriage? Start holding people around you accountable. Let them know that the queens and the kings have awakened and they no longer tolerate nonsense around them. It's either we are going to heal or we won't make it. Bayete, my dear son, Mokosi Parker has just rolled in his royal carriage. Speaking of royal carriage, do you guys know where the people got the carnival in Brazil and the Caribbean? It was a tradition back in the days. There was at every time of the year that the people used to go and do and pass in front of the king and the royal family. They will dress in their most extravagant attire. So this was a way of the king to kind of get to know his people and see how much his people were growing. So our elders tell us that they will dress fancy. The guys will line up their wives and their children. That's where they got the carnival thing from, you know? So our children took it to the Caribbeans where they had a little bit more freedom. So they kept that tradition, which I admire. So that too. So you have to understand that we can only give to our sons that which we have. Okay? Some mothers, they teach their son how to avoid paying child support. That's an abomination. Because these children, by him just taking care of them, a set of blessings, a set of protection for his job alone become very protected. And whomever will threaten his bread will be dealt with. That's how it works. Everything is tied, my children, everything. So it is important that we heal, and it starts with us. My dear daughters, we can set new standards. Any man, when he start calling you out of your name, reclaim your title. I'm a queen, I'm a princess, so and so, and you are not going to call me out of my name ever again. Stand your ground. You know, you let them know. You teach them. Remember, we are the teacher. We are to teach them how to love us. And we can't complain that they don't love us the right way if we don't teach them how to love us. You set them, you're not going to be a savage around me. That savagery you may have witnessed at your mother's house will not be welcome over here. Don't ever call me out of my name, the day you do, and you back it up. You don't go back and call him and be on the phone with him. And this is even when the ancestors double down the protection on you. They say, our daughter is ready. And you're going to start attracting the people who will treat you like the royalty you are. When you set those boundaries. Never be afraid to find yourself alone. Because sometimes when you're even alone, you don't have bad company around you. This is when your blessings are released onto you. So never compromise yourself. You as a Bantu woman, you come packing with abundance. And many men you may have come across, they may have used you without even you knowing. But the flip side with our abundance is like when we let men use us, the very same men turn around and resent us. So this is a key knowledge about us I'm sharing with you, my dear children, tonight, because my father used to tell me each time I would travel abroad, the ride to the airport, he used to tell me that, and he used to add, tell your brothers and sisters over there the same. My father used to say, you know, I hate that you chose to live abroad. I'm like, I'm too vocal. I used to tease my dad and say he's working for a puppet government. And I used to talk a whole lot of shit that could have gotten him in trouble. So, Mbote, Soweto, Princess Soweto is Sowelo. Good to see you, my dear child. Good to see you. So, and then he was like, it's painful to see you leave, but since that's where you want to be, we have to honor it. But just remember, you know, the distance, us being cut off from you doesn't really matter as long as you don't sell out. And I was like, okay, Papa, elaborate. What do you mean as long as I don't sell out? And then he broke it down for me. As long as you don't forget who you are, where you come from, and who you came from. As long as you don't pretend to be something else, but the Bantu girl you are, the Bantu princess, my princess. As long as you never ashamed to bring up my name just because you're around people whose name sound different. As long as you don't sell out, we can never lose you. So that's what I'm telling you, my children, tonight. I see you. So, as long as we don't sell out. Now, I want to remind you guys, I'm very proud of you because we are strong. And another group of people put through what we were put through would have ceased existing. But here we are. There's a few things we need to brush up about us. We need to immerse back into viewing one another as one. Speaking of the Mundeles, you know the relationship between Britain and America. By seeing them how they roll today, it makes many of you forget that some point in history, America bore weapons against Britain, who financed their expedition to come here, to come and establish a new land. But when they got here, like I told them in my Dear White People video, I'm like, you got tricked, they played you. And good for you, because you believe in the lie. They told you that they're going to make you king in their new world. But no, they made you another slave. You came here and they started taxing you, and you had to bear weapons against them. So regardless of that, they made up. Today, you won't even remember or believe that they ever bore weapons against one another. You know why? Because they recognize the power of the motherland to a group of people. You can never be cut from the motherland and be prosperous wherever you are. Us Africans know that. Even when we travel, we must maintain connection with somebody at home. We must maintain calls. We must, let them know we're still part of them. The minute we want to be stubborn and act like they no longer exist, we start going through life. We start experiencing the worst. It's as if somebody pulls a cord back at home and you go running. So it is important that each child of Africa out there, our royal ones, of course, I'm not talking about the slaves and their masters, no. I'm talking about those sons and daughters of our kings. I know you out there, you in the shallow, you heavy, that's why you don't dangle on people's screens everywhere. I know, but I know you there. But it's time you answer that call and be the beacon of light, the beacon of wisdom among your peers. We need each one of you. So you have to view her for who she is, but they recognize the power of the motherland. Now, today, you can't even imagine that they ever fought, right? You can't even imagine that, because they recognize hierarchy. They recognize her role, her spiritual role in their community. She established them, nevertheless. So the children of Africa needs to have the attitude that no matter where you live, no matter what you do, the interests of Africa and the people of African descent and everything should come first. You accommodate them first. This is only how we're gonna heal. We're gonna rise. We're gonna earn respect. Nobody want to respect a group of people where you can hire any of them at any time to take down the strongest of them. Who's going to respect such group of people? For what? They're idiots. But when you know that they have a code among them, when you know that they're impenetrable, when you know that you are forced to respect them. I don't know if many of you watch the news, but there's a coup attempt that fell in Mali. So they say that 49 mercenaries flew to Ivory Coast. But what did they do? Flew to Mali, but what did they do first? They couldn't get the man outright, because the Malians are up and determined. So they gave him a trap, a trick. They say, okay, we're going to lift the sanction against you. What does it mean? The people from other countries are now free to travel to Mali. They lift the sanction last week, and this week, what did they try to do? They tried to go in there and kill the man and unlife the man. So the 49 mercenaries left Ivory Coast, and then they infiltrated into Mali. In their passport, they were saying that they were merchants, they were builders. Some of them claimed to be teachers. But since the Malian people, they're all on their feet, they're watching everybody. So a police officer just drinking his beer at a bar, he noticed that there were kind of a bunch of people that popping around from Ivory Coast. and they're not saying something that makes sense. And he called for them to be investigated. It led to found that 49. So that lets you to know what we're dealing with in Africa. The God of our ancestors is up, and he's not letting anything happen to his chosen ones anymore. French has been trying to get our strongest one for the past 3 years. They haven't been successful anywhere. Now, in the case of the Republic of Central Africa, they were mercenaries from France waiting for the president at the airport. A little boy that was passing there selling stuff on top of his head, he saw in a car 4 white men sharpening their weapons. He ran to the next police officer and said, in that car over there, I saw 4 white men with sophisticated weapons. So you see, everywhere they turn is like, Tatan Zambe is no longer allowing it. So to our sons and daughters out there, those who get it, I saw recently one of our sons. I kind of identify those who are out there who just do it for us. Like I said, the Zola Bantu and the Mozambique Zola couple. There's also another son of ours out there who gets it and who's out there pouring love, his maximum impact, I believe, with Jay Cameron. Another one who the lion in him has recently awakened. I won't lie, because his content before was kind of not to the part. Shalom, Azrael Abir. Shalom, Arroyo. Welcome. So his content wasn't really, up to part. Is Go Black to Africa. Recently, the lion in him has awakened, and I couldn't be happier. I want to see more of them awakening. I told you guys, it's in our blood. It's not a skill we have to go and borrow somewhere. And when you go to Africa, drop that African American nothing. Okay? You don't go back to your people as an American. You go back to our people as our people. Don't go back to our people and form your little clan. Oh, because you feel that you better. It's going to blow up on your face. They are the one integrating you into their community and not the other way around. When you go, you knock at doors. Hey, my brother, I'm here. I'm returning. Because everybody is there. The Arabs, the Chinese, name it, they're there. If you go saying you are African American, before long they're going to push you back out of the lands of your ancestors. But if you go and tell them I'm African, all right, I was snatched from this land, what's up, I'm back, they're going to put themselves in their place. So we need to, yes, we are ancient East Israelite. So we need to value ourselves, and we have to help our women heal. Anywhere you can protect a queen, do it. By just doing that, you're letting her people know, you're letting her soldier know that she got an angel on earth, and then they will accompany you the same. We are intertwined, we are interconnected, we are very powerful people. The laws of the universe, the laws of Zambe are the laws of universe. When you break them, you get the punishment. When you obey them, observe and you get the reward. How was Europe by the time they were dragging their women by the hair and beating them and abusing them? It was a place filthy, disgusting, full of disease and everything. The encounter with our ancestors, the Moors, they told them a bunch of things, and then they got her from the ground to a house. And what happened? They known an advancement. They grew and became bigger than the masters who taught them everything. And they eventually came for us. That shows you the power of the feminine in a community. That's why they have laws built around to protect her. That's how they can come up with that saying, happy wife, happy life. It's just not a saying. They know the meaning behind it. Okay? So I don't waste time addressing men. Men are our children. You know me. I'm the anti-fragility queen. Men, I see them as our children. They do all the things they do because we allow that nonsense around us. We allow them to disrespect us and get away with it. We allow them not to be useful at all. Some men out there can't even protect their women against their monstrous mothers. And we need to pay more attention when we choose a mate. Our people say that when a woman has given herself to a man, that man is bounded to her, and that man will risk his life for her. When you share intimacy with a man, and when you get in front of his people, he doesn't even have the mouth to defend you. He doesn't have the impulse to defend you. It means that the man woman in his life has broken him. That's a sign. That should give it away. And don't proceed with such man. He's going to be suffering. When they have been broken like that, they have to deal with their mothers first. But majority of the time, they keep her protected. And they go out there and unleash that venom and abuse on other people's daughters, which is completely crazy. That's why I don't waste my time addressing them. They are the way they are because we gave them our evil, we gave them our venom, we gave them all our resentment, we gave them our jealousy. If they backstab their friends, it's because they saw us backstab ours. If they badmouth their friends behind their back because they saw us run our mouth behind our friends' back, it comes back to us. We have to love each other. We have to be supportive. When we see a young girl in distress, we take her under our wing, not to abuse her, not to prostitute her, not to pimp her, but to build her up. Since she was built up by somebody, it's only then she also can build another woman up. But when we go and perpetrating abuse, we just such users these days. People don't even hide that they're users. They steal each other's energy. They steal each other's work. They don't respect each other. Well, we cannot give that to our children if we don't have that. If we're incapable of loving, we cannot teach them how to love properly. Yeah. So we have to heal her. We have to be patient with her. We have to encourage her. We have to stop calling her out of her name. She has gone through enough. So as I told you, a game of power is that, you know, the pull and the other one pull the other. And as long as you don't sell out, remember what my father told me. He always told me that. And whatever he told me, he said, tell your brothers and sisters over there that. I'm like, yeah, maybe one day. You know, as long as we don't sell out, we don't tear each other down, we don't do that. I was telling you that our son over there in Go Black to Africa, something happened to him. He got awakened. Now he's roaring. You know, our people say that a man roars, a dog barks. A man is a lion, he roars. He doesn't speak from the lungs or the heart or the throat. He speaks from his gut, the stomach. He's roaring, and I couldn't be happier. So the level of consciousness of a society is tied to the level of consciousness of their women. If you wonder why the Muzungus are the way they are, their mothers taught them that. Simple as that. So anything anybody has to say against our people, our sons and daughters are like that because of us, because we taught them that. Okay? So don't let the men run over you, make you do whatever you don't want to do. You stay in control. Don't go for things that could, compromise your divinity. I know it's a late night chat, but I don't need to be explicit. Force them to honor you. Don't go to bed with anybody who doesn't commit to you. When you lend yourself out there to be toyed with, oh yeah, I can get the benefit, I can get the milk and the cheese without buying the cow. Where we come from, we don't. We tell you, come and meet my people, come and show face to my people. Let them scan you head to toe. I belong to somebody. No matter how poor your people, never be ashamed of your people or reject them. It's time we rebuild our family. Your people are your people. You being the voice of wisdom, you teach them how to treat you. You like, I'm the generational curse breaker. No more madness in this family. No more madness in this family. Watch the way you talk to another. Honor the royalty in him. Honor the divinity in him. Like that. We are God's people. We are not useless idiots that don't have a land, that don't have a father, that don't have a mother, that doesn't have a culture to back them up. We have all that and more. Okay? So it's in you. Don't be ashamed to come out. Tatan Zambe is dealing with our enemies. Don't worry about them. Speaking of dealing with the enemies, I hope you guys brought your list and presented them to the divine court of God, because that's what we do. We don't want to hold grudges. We leave it all. We drop it at his feet. That's what we do. That's how we deal with these demons, because we chosen one and we can't allow them to kick us off route. No, they want to be us. They wish they had the level of purity that made us qualify. So you have to teach people how to treat you. When they come at you, just snapping. You tell them, I do not treat you like that, so do not treat me like that. If you're gonna be around me, you can't hang up on me. Don't ever do anything I never done to you. This is how you set boundaries with people. They may go around and stuff, and they may not like you then, but they will never forget you. They will always respect you. When we were a teenager in France, and these white kids, they go through all kind of drama. They're always on pills, and they have these boyfriends that push them around. I was unmovable. I had a boyfriend that I chose to have just to hold hands, and that's all I wanted to do at that time. And he should have better not tried to ask for more. And that's what it was. So until years later and stuff, we're talking about 25 years, the guy finds me on Facebook and he said, oh my gosh, you are the same man. I was never able to forget you. I'm like, I'm sure you can never. Because back then, the girls, you could just get them to do anything. And I was that stone rock. I'm like, I'm not the kind you want to push around. It won't end well. So we hold that power. We have a huge power. We decide who comes, who doesn't, and this is not a brag. So anybody telling you that you are less than is misleading their men and is misleading you. Okay, my dear children. So that was the message. So if two brothers who fought, they went to war, one against another, if they could mend fences and still act as one, you, the children of Africa, your forefathers died for, confronted the Europeans with literally their bare hands. You have no valid reason to turn your back to your homeland. Mbote, Neves, ¿cómo estás? You know, your people died fighting a war that they knew they were going to lose. You have no right. Let me put it this way, my dear children. You have no right, no reason to turn your back to your homeland because it weakens you. It clearly does. Okay, my beautiful and amazing royals of Africa. Yes, our royals are there. So we set the tone. We let them know that we are more. When a man sees you, always bring them around your family. Of course, if your family are normal, because I'm not asking anybody to bring anybody around really toxic people. Okay? Another thing in your healing, you have to learn to isolate yourself. You have to learn to cut the cord with people. Anybody who has abused you, you have to learn to love yourself. So when it gets lonely, you don't even feel it as lonely. You feel that, oh, you just have more free time to yourself because you are healed. You are not needy. You're not clingy. You know, you are well. And people may think that, oh, if they're no longer in your life, you're gonna suffer. You laugh. You move on to the next chapter in your life and so on. Okay, don't let anybody emotional blackmail you. These are the diseases we get from, being enslaved, being in the hands of narcissistic people. So the result of it, many of us are a bunch of narcissistic individuals walking around, not even knowing that they are, but they are, So the chosen ones have a big responsibility, to awaken the others. Division has led us to absolutely nothing. But the women, we hold the biggest power. Claim your power back. In terms of war, when they slam you to the ground, it's not your opponent that's going to come and give you a lift up. No, you pick yourself up. And you, Bantu woman, I know you are capable. You have that in you. Start focusing. Start protecting one another. If we could just live at peace, we'd be able to protect the young ones. So many of our daughters won't be trafficked. If we build strong, safe, not only strong, but safe environment for younger women, younger girls, we can start there. Each one can, get a child from the system and mentor that child and say, no, you're not going to be on a street pole. You're going to be a lady. You're going to be somebody pride one day. Until we get to that, it won't happen. Those paying karma. There was this girl, Vicky Dealers. She was on Fly Nubian Queen. When I first came out, the ancestor told me I had to reach out to her and tell her to stop the dangerous teaching she was giving about the money in the womb. It's not a practice that is just practiced like that by any, teaching our daughters to be energy thieves. And it's not everybody you can steal the energy. It could be very dangerous. You have to, the minute I told her that, I just started seeing my channel slowing down ridiculously. I mean, my views went from 1K something per video to literally like half 500 but my guy told me your channel is being reported, it's being played with, it's being sabotaged. I'm like, but who the Mundeli know? The same people you are out there trying to help heal. So, and then they told me they will bring up the faces to the light. They told me, be a little patient. You will know who they are. And before you know it, I heard that girl had a blowout with the network Fly Nubian Queen she was on. And then one of her maniac, the one who was out there doing all that evil job, she came out and posted a video that was a whole confession. She called herself Angel of Love. She said that anybody that Vicky Diller deemed as a hater, she was, you know, instructed to flag their page on daily basis. That's the job. And they put themselves out there claiming they're for the people. We're living around severely mentally ill people. And the sad thing is they have following and they have influence over the minds of our people. So she came out and made that apology. I'm like, these people, these idiots don't know that this time you shouldn't try to be evil to anybody. It's karma time. So they had a big blowout among them, and one came confessing and more stuff started coming out. I'm like, this is just the beginning. This is how they make themselves celebrities in the spirit realm for no goddamn reason. Just messing with people they don't even know. People they have no business messing with. And that's a woman in our community who talks about sisterhood on the face of the people. So, my dear royals, you have to understand that you have a responsibility is to illuminate even those who have this weird behavior, always bad mouth about others behind their back. Stop them. Say, no, not around me. We are not entertaining that kind of energy around me anymore. We are climbing on our thrones. Either you follow me to the top or you stay wherever you are. Be strict with people. Be that ruler you are called to be. Let it roar. Let him roar. Let the people know that the slave thing is over. Okay? Nobody is slave except those who want to make themselves slaves. They have done the worst. We don't have to worry about them. We now have to worry about our own people who are still very sick. And many of them very set in their ways. When you're going to see that the same Ivorian Africans, they want to go and remove one of our sons who has slapped friends the way none of us has slapped friends since the fall of our people. Mali is an example. They want to go and shut it down. Our people. So, yeah, your queen is going to bed. Okay, my lovelies. Birthday. YouTube picking our voices to listen to. Really, they do all kind of things. Don't mind them. They're doing all kind of things. You know, the clock is ticking. Our God is a God that doesn't lie. Okay, there's no stopping the process. If they look around, they know what time it is. So they're gonna get so busy that they're gonna leave us alone if they don't start harassing us for no reason. Okay, my dear, beautiful and amazing royals, you know, have a light heart. When you carry the light, you can't hold no grudges. You put people in their place and you take your royal energy, your divine blessings elsewhere where they will be appreciated. No feelings hurt. Just keep it moving. All right? Don't even look back. Never look back. Never let people you have let out of your life come back. This is when they come with the deadly blow. Do you hear me, my children? Never make that mistake. All right, to my beautiful and amazing royals, is 11:11 on the clock. Ashe. This message is well received, absolutely. So to my beautiful and amazing royals of Africa, peace in your home at all time, love in your heart, and unity. Okay? Take care of one another and take care of each other. Until next time. Mwah.